Remember, your story matters and we can't wait to hear it. This is the story of Jerry. Jerry resided in a house that was neither warm nor welcoming. His mother and stepfather were both drug addicts. They were never in the house, and when they were home, they would be drunk. They provided the bare essentials of food, but love and care were foreign concepts in Jerry's life. He was forced to grow up before his time, taking on responsibilities of cooking for himself, while the adults grew deeper into their destructive habits. At school, Jerry was always alone, shunned by his peers because of his unkempt appearances and the sadness that seemed to emanate from his very own being. He carried the weight of his home like an invisible burden, causing him to isolate himself further. His eyes were windows to a soul that yearned for love and companionship, yet life had taught him to be cautious of forming connections. Jerry was always threatened with a knife on his neck by his stepfather, who said the day he tells anyone about what was going on in that house, he will be killed. This time, the threats were more severe, and Jerry knew he had to escape before things took a deadly turn. When he noticed his parents had left the house, he escaped. With tears streaming down his cheeks, he gathered a few belongings, mustering the courage to leave his painful past behind. Jerry wandered the unfamiliar streets, guided only by the dim moonlight that barely penetrated the darkness. Hours turned into eternity as he trekked through the town, his heart heavy with fear and uncertainty. Eventually, he stumbled upon an uncompleted building on the outskirts of the town. It was a frightful sight, full of cobwebs and insects, but it offered shelter for the night. Inside the abandoned house, he arranged some card boxes he had found, making a makeshift bed. The walls echoed with the hollowness of his solitude. Though the emptiness was overwhelming, he found comfort in the silence. With time, he began to call the desolate place home. As days turned into weeks, Jerry's solitude was occasionally interrupted by the flicker of hope. Once, while scavenging for food, he stumbled upon a forgotten bag tucked away in the dusty corner of the uncompleted building. Trembling with curiosity, he cautiously unzipped the bag and was met with an astonishing sight. An unimaginable amount of money was inside the bag. Fear gripped him as he considered the implications of possessing such a fortune. But he also recognized the opportunity it presented. With this money, he could change his life, maybe even help others in need. Yet his conscience wrestled with a moral dilemma. Weeks passed, and no one came to claim the mysterious bag of money. Jerry's heart became heavy with the weight of his secret, but he knew that revealing it could only lead him to trouble. He reluctantly decided to leave the money where he had found it, unwilling to risk the unknown dangers that might befall him if he kept it. One day, while wrestling under the shelter of an awning in a busy street, Jerry caught the attention of a kind-hearted couple, Sarah and Michael. Their hearts ached at the sight of the young boy on the streets, and they approached him asking what he was doing there. Jerry hesitated, but the warmth in their eyes compelled him to share a fraction of his story. He spoke of a home without love, of abuse and neglect, and how he had fled to escape certain doom. Sarah and Michael exchanged a sympathetic glance and without hesitation invited Jerry to stay with them. They treated him with love and compassion as if he were their own flesh and blood. For the first time in his life, Jerry experienced a sense of belonging and found solace in a loving embrace of his own new-found family. As days turned into months, Jerry flourished in their care. They nurtured his dreams and aspirations, encouraging him to pursue his education and become a medical doctor, a dream he had secretly held on despite his turbulent past. They provided him with everything he needed, but Jerry remained humble and grateful for the love they bestowed upon him. However, life threw another challenge at Jerry and his new family when Sarah fell seriously ill. The hospital bills were exorbitant, and the weight of the financial burden threatened to shatter their newfound happiness. Jerry couldn't bear to see Sarah suffer, and he knew he had to act. Remembering the abandoned bag of money, he cautiously retrieved it from the uncompleted building, revealing its existence to Sarah and Michael. He tearfully confessed the truth behind its origin and the struggle he faced in deciding whether to keep it or not. They were stunned by his honesty and the emotional turmoil he had endured alone. The money went towards Sarah's life-saving operation, and though it didn't cover everything, it provided a glimmer of hope in their darkest hour. The rest of the money was used to support Jerry's education as he worked tirelessly to achieve his dreams of becoming a medical doctor. Years passed, and Jerry became a successful and compassionate doctor, helping those in need with unwavering dedication. One day, as he tended to patients in the hospital, he came face to face with a woman whose appearance seemed strangely familiar. She was weak, her eyes reflecting a lifetime of regret. It was Jerry's birth mother. She had become a mere shell of the woman she once was, lost to the throes of the addiction and remorse. Jerry recognized her instantly, but she didn't recognize him. He felt a mixture of pain and compassion for the woman who had brought him into this world but hadn't been there when he needed her the most. Despite the heart and hurt, Jerry knew that he couldn't let her suffer any longer. He discreetly took care of all her medical bills and ensured she received the best treatment possible. She was grateful for the kindness of this stranger who seemed to know her pain too well. One day, as she lay in the hospital bed, weak and humbled, Jerry revealed his identity. Tears streamed down both their faces as he told her the incredible journey he had embarked on, from abandonment and abuse to finding a loving family that fulfilled his dreams. He forgave her for the pain she had caused him, understanding that she too had faced her own battles. As days turned into weeks, Jerry visited his mother regularly, and in their shared moments, they found a semblance of closure and reconciliation. He knew he couldn't change the past, but he offered her the love and forgiveness she needed in her final days. Jerry continued to balance his life between the family that had adopted him and the mother who had given him life. He cherished the love and support he had found in Sarah and Michael, who had given him a second chance of happiness. And though his heart ached for the family he had lost to addiction, he knew he had found his place in the world, a place built on love, compassion, and forgiveness. If you were to be in Jerry's place, could you accept your mother back? What do you think about this story? This is his story. What is yours?